That feeling hits hard, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The second the alarm screams, or maybe even before, your hand goes straight for the phone and boom, suddenly you're swimming in emails, notifications, the news.
Yeah, just reacting.
Constantly reacting, pulled in a million directions, and you kind of lose the sense of what really matters. It's so easy to feel scattered,
Right.
overwhelmed, like the day owns you before it's even properly started.
Oh, absolutely. It's a feeling so many of us know, that constant state of vigilance almost, being at the mercy of whatever pops up next, an email, a notification.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the opposite of ease. And those crucial first moments, maybe even the first hour, they can just get completely hijacked.
Hijacked by noise, by worry, often stuff you can't even do anything about right then.
Exactly. Which is, well, precisely why we wanted to do this deep dive. We've gathered a whole stack of material articles, some psych research, even personal notes on well-being, habits.
To explore something really simple, actually, but, well, potentially profound. How small, consistent daily rituals can be like your shield against all that overwhelm. How they can help you, reclaim your day, feel more present, more grounded, less stressed.
Yeah, and our goal here, our mission with this deep dive is really to cut through all the noise, to pull out the most impactful bits, the practical tips from all this stuff.
Like a shortcut.
Exactly, a shortcut for you, the listener, to understand not just what rituals might work, but crucially, why they work on a deeper level, and how you can start building them, even just one tiny step at a time.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We hear the word habit all the time, but these sources, they talk specifically about rituals. Is there actually a difference, and why does that distinction matter?
That's a really good question. What the sources seem to emphasize is that, well, a habit can be something you do automatically, almost mindlessly, right? Like brushing your teeth.
Yeah, you don't really think about it.
Right. But a ritual, that's fundamentally different. It's an intentional practice. You engage with it consciously, maybe with a specific purpose. And that very intentionality, it gives it a sense of meaning that a plain old habit often lacks.
Ah, okay. So it's not just the doing it, it's the awareness you bring to it, the purpose behind it.
Precisely. And this is where the psychology insights are so interesting. Psychologists like Alyssa Epple, she talks about how knowing what's coming next, that predictability a ritual offers it, actually allows our nervous system to settle.
Settle. How so?
Well, instead of being in that high alert, vigilant state, kind of waiting for the next thing,
Yeah.
your body and mind can genuinely relax. It fosters this sense of ease, safety even.
It's like your brain can finally take a breath because it's not constantly bracing itself.
That's a great way to put it. And, Ethan Kross's work on chatter, that negative self-talk loop we get into.
Oh, yeah. Familiar territory.
Right. Well, rituals help with that, too. They provide a sense of order, a sense of control. By choosing to focus your attention on this intentional practice, you're actively redirecting energy away from that swirling internal noise.
So you're placing an anchor.
Exactly. A deliberate anchor in your day. And your brain responds. It physically relaxes when it knows what to expect, when it has that predictable point of focus.
That's a powerful way to think about it. It's not just busy work. It's choosing something that signals safety and structure to your whole system. Okay, so that explains the why psychologically. But how does doing something small, like intentionally, how does that build up something as big as self-discipline?
Yeah, this is a really critical takeaway from the sources. Self-discipline isn't presented as some, grim, tough it out kind of thing. It's framed more simply as the ability to act according to what you know is good for you, even when you don't feel like it. When you're tired or distracted or just lazy.
Which, let's be honest, is often the default mode when things require effort.
Totally. And the sources give this brilliant, almost mundane example. It really cuts right to the heart of it.
Okay.
Washing your breakfast dishes immediately after you finish eating.
That's it. Washing the dishes.
Seems tiny, right? Maybe even trivial. But think about it. Consistently doing that one small task, it's an immediate, tangible act of finishing what you start. It's proof to yourself every single morning that you can follow through.
Huh. I like that because it's so low stakes. It's not like, okay, today I launched my empire. It's just the bowl.
Yeah.
And the spoon.
Exactly. And the power is in starting there. Just do that one thing consistently for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Once that feels pretty automatic, maybe you add wiping down the counter.
Okay.
And then maybe a week or two later, you make your bed. Then maybe you tack on, 2 minutes of stretching. It's not about some sudden massive overhaul. It's the gradual accumulation of these tiny completed actions. That's what builds the muscle of self-discipline.
So it's not about being perfect right away.
Yeah.
It's about that relentless consistency in the small stuff. That makes me think of that powerful analogy used in one of the sources.
Ah, the Mount Everest one?
Yes.
Yeah. There's nothing inherently glamorous or exciting about just putting one foot in front of the other, is there?
No, not really.
But doing it consistently, thousands upon thousands of times, day after day, week after week, that's how people eventually stand on top of the world's highest mountain.
Wow. Okay. Applying that to our daily lives. Washing a dish, doing 10 minutes of focused work, sitting quietly for 5 minutes. Individually, they feel so small.
But it's the compound effect, that consistent repetition over time. That's what builds incredible momentum and leads to significant life-altering change. It builds strength not just physically, but crucially in your mind's ability for intentional action.
The mind needs exercise too, basically.
Absolutely. The mind, like any muscle, needs these consistent small challenges to grow stronger, more resilient. If we only ever dive into how we feel in the moment, we don't build that capacity to choose differently when the bigger challenges inevitably hit.
Okay, that makes sense. Simple rituals build discipline, mental strength, proving we can do things, helping us choose intention over just reacting. Let's dig into some specific types of rituals the sources highlighted for strengthening both mind and body.
Right. Exercise comes up again and again, consistently called out as one of the simplest, fastest ways to boost well-being. And again, it's not just physical, it's a powerful ritual for the mind too.
Because it's something you direct yourself. In a world that often feels out of control, moving your own body is entirely your thing. It's a direct way to feel some agency.
Exactly that. That sense of self-control, of mastery over your own small world right there, it's incredibly grounding, and there's fascinating science behind it. Dr. John Rady's work, mentioned in one source, he highlights how physical activity elevates the specific brain protein. He actually calls it miracle grow for the brain.
Miracle grow for the brain. I love that. That visual really sticks with you.
Right.
It makes perfect sense that what's good for the body is so directly good for the brain.
It really does, and the research confirms it. Exercise is highly effective in reducing symptoms of mild to moderate depression. It lowers anxiety levels, and it directly counteracts the physiological effects of stress. It's like a multi-tool ritual.
Okay, but if it's so powerful, why the advice to start with just 15 minutes or even less? Seems counterintuitive.
Well, because the biggest hurdle for most people is just starting.
Right.
15 minutes is generally enough to get those benefits flowing, but it's not so much that it feels overwhelming on a day when you're low on energy.
Makes sense. Avoid the all or nothing trap.
Precisely. And if even 15 minutes feels like too much resistance, drop it to 10. Or even just 7 minutes. The key, again, is consistency. Aim to do that small amount most days for, say, a month before you even think about increasing time or intensity.
Start small. Stay consistent.
Got it. Okay, beyond physical movement, a core ritual these sources really emphasize is mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness, really simply, is just paying attention to the present moment without getting all tangled up in judging it.
Easier said than done sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. And meditation is presented as a sort of foundational practice within that, a dedicated ritual for cultivating presence. The sources are realistic, though. They acknowledge that trying to quiet the mind, well, it can feel impossible at first.
Tell me about it. Feels like trying to herd cats or stop a waterfall with your hands.
Many people feel that way, but the core benefits of meditation, with consistent practice, they become clear. It genuinely lowers mental stress, and it significantly increases mental presence, your awareness of what's happening inside and out right now.
And how does being more present actually help navigate the messiness of daily life?
It's subtle but powerful. When you start your day with even just a few minutes of cultivated presence, or you sprinkle mindful moments through your day, everything that comes next feels a little easier to meet. Well, instead of being instantly swept away by reactions or feeling really resistant to difficult emotions, you develop this greater capacity to simply notice your internal state. You know, the tightness in your shoulders, that flicker of frustration, maybe even a moment of peace you'd otherwise miss.
And just by noticing, you create space. You have more options than just reacting.
Exactly. You find better solutions sometimes, healthier ways to respond. You're not quite as lost in the mental chatter. You create space to breathe, to listen to yourself, and actually to truly listen to other people too. One note described how practicing presence allowed them to genuinely hear their child's concern during a busy moment instead of just rushing past it.
Wow. That moment of space changes everything. So what are some simple ways to start this kind of practice, if quieting the mind sounds intimidating?
Yeah, the suggestions are very accessible. Again, starting with 15 minutes or less. Focused breathing is a classic. Just sit comfortably, eyes closed or maybe softly focused, and bring your attention to the physical sensation of breath. entering and leaving your body.
And the inevitable mind wandering.
Oh, your mind will wander. That's just what minds do. The practice isn't about starving it. It's simply noticing when it happens and gently, without beating yourself up about it, guiding your attention back to the breath.
Just keep returning. It's the act of returning that builds the muscle, not achieving some perfectly empty mind.
Precisely. That's the core of it. Other techniques. Simple body scans intentionally bringing awareness to different parts of your body, noticing sensations, toe to head. And for busy days, these mindful minutes are key.
Mindful minutes.
Yeah. Use routine things as triggers. Every time you finish a phone call or stand up from your desk or maybe stop at a red light, just take 1 minute for focused breathing. It weaves presence into your existing day.
That makes it feel so much more doable than trying to carve out a huge chunk of time. Just weave it in.
Absolutely. And speaking of weaving things in, the sources also strongly highlight the power of spending time in nature as a ritual.
Is that just about, getting some fresh air? Or is there something deeper going on there?
Oh, there's definitely something deeper. Research shows again and again that even just 120 minutes, 2 hours spent in nature each week can significantly boost health and well-being. And it seems to act on such a wide range of mental states.
Like how, specifically?
Okay, so if you're feeling stressed, nature provides what they call soft fascination. Stimuli like rustling leaves or flowing water. They gently capture your attention without demanding focused effort. It helps calm the nervous system.
Interesting.
If you're struggling with low mood or even mild depression, even a simple stroll in a park can help lift it. And working out outdoors, some studies show it reduces anxiety more effectively than doing the same exercise indoors.
So the environment itself adds this extra layer of benefit.
Exactly. For minds caught in those negative thought loops, that rumination, a walk in nature has actually been shown to quiet activity in the brain regions associated with that.
Wow.
Yeah. It also acts as a restorative for mental fatigue. It improves memory and focus, things that get drained by constant demands and, let's face it, screen time.
It's like a literal reset button for the brain.
It really can be. Plus, it sparks creativity by introducing new things to see and hear. One study even found time in nature improved problem-solving skills by 50%.
50%, that's huge.
Isn't it? And beyond that, it fosters pro-social feelings, generosity, empathy. It gives us a sense of belonging to something larger than ourselves. And it can trigger awe, that feeling of vastness, of wonder. It really puts our own worries into perspective.
That sense of awe is so important for shaking off that tunnel vision we can get stuck in. So the ritual doesn't need to be some big wilderness expedition then.
Not at all. A daily walk around the block, a bike ride on a local path, just stepping outside for your lunch break instead of eating at your desk. Even mindfully looking out a window at trees or the sky can provide significant benefits. It's about intentional connection, however brief it might be.
Okay, so we got movement, mindfulness, nature for body and mind. What about other simple daily rituals the sources mention for just general well-being?
Gratitude practice comes up repeatedly. It's strongly linked to reduced stress, increased happiness, greater emotional resilience, even better sleep, more patience, more motivation.
That's a lot of upside for something as simple sounding as gratitude.
It fundamentally shifts your perspective, doesn't it? By intentionally focusing on things you appreciate, you literally train your brain to look for the positive, even when things are challenging. A really simple ritual is a gratitude journal or diary. Just jotting down, say, 3 to 5 things you're genuinely grateful for, daily or even weekly.
And these don't have to be big, life-changing things, like winning the lottery.
Absolutely not. The warmth of your morning coffee, a friendly smile from a stranger, the comfort of your home, a moment of quiet. Even on really difficult days, consciously acknowledging these small blessings. It can provide a real lift. People who practice this consistently often report sleeping better, feeling more patient with family, finding it easier to get motivated, even when things are tough.
It makes sense that focusing on good things before bed could lead to more restful sleep.
Definitely. And another crucial area for intentional ritual is our interactions, our connections with others.
How so?
Well, the sources talk about extending mindfulness into conversations, practicing active listening, really giving your full attention, putting distractions away, focusing on understanding the other person, not just waiting to talk.
In our multitasking world, that feels almost revolutionary. A A radical act.
It really is sometimes. And it's essential for building genuine connection. The sources emphasize how important it is to connect with others daily, even brief but meaningful interactions. Social support, that sense of belonging, or resilience, they're all deeply tied to these connections.
So build in intentional moments for human connection too. Okay. And speaking of intentional space, the sources had some practical rituals specifically for the workday, didn't they?
Yes, small shifts that can make a really big difference. Things like mindful commuting, using that red light or train ride for a few conscious breaths instead of immediately grabbing your phone.
Guilty as charged sometimes.
We all are. Or delaying checking email first thing. Protect maybe the first 30, 60 minutes for your most important tasks. Eating lunch away from your desk, physically separating yourself, allows for a real mental break.
Oh, that lunch one is so tough for so many people, myself included.
It is tough, but maybe even doing it 2 or 3 times a week can start to interrupt that cycle of constant work focus. And having a simple end-of-day ritual, tidying your workspace, maybe quickly reviewing what you did, accomplish even small things not on your main list, it signals to your brain, okay, the workday is over. Helps you transition more smoothly to personal time.
Creating that crucial boundary between work and life. Which brings up another key point from the sources, the importance of setting healthy boundaries generally in all areas of life.
Yeah, boundaries are presented as just a fundamental form of self-care. They prevent burnout, they build long-term resilience. Basically, they ensure your energy isn't constantly being drained by other people's demands or even your own tendency to overcommit.
Right. Okay, so we've talked a lot about building these positive rituals, but it feels important to acknowledge what they're often competing with.
Yeah.
Or maybe even replacing, which is, screen time.
Oh, definitely. This is a major theme the sources highlight. The pervasive drain of screens. It's significant. They're literally designed to grab and hold our attention, aren't they?
Absolutely.
They fragment our focus, they disrupt sleep because of the blue light, and they're increasingly linked to increased anxiety and depression, often fueled by those curated, unrealistic social media comparisons.
It's like this giant time and energy sink that doesn't really give genuine well-being back in return.
That's a good way to put it, a sink. And that's precisely where daily rituals come in, as intentional alternatives. Alternatives to mindless scrolling. They are active choices you make to reclaim your time and energy for things that actually nourish you.
So what are some specific rituals to kind of counteract that screen effect?
A really big one mentioned is starting your morning screen-free. If possible, keep your phone in another room overnight. Or at the very least, try not to look at it for the first 30 minutes, maybe even the first hour of your day.
Oof, that's a challenge for many.
It is, but powerful. Another idea. Take movement breaks, a quick walk, some stretching instead of scrolling breaks during the day. And creating a screen-free wind-down routine before bed is huge. Read a physical book, journal, listen to music, talk with someone, instead of falling asleep with a screen shining in your face.
Yeah, that screen-free hour before bed. I could see how that alone could make a massive difference for sleep quality.
It really can. And look, the point isn't about eliminating screens entirely. That's unrealistic for most of us. It's about building consistent practices that serve you, rather than letting passive consumption just dictate your time and energy. You can even use built-in phone features, right? Like do not disturb schedules or app time limits. Those can act as supportive structures, little rituals in themselves for making these choices.
Right, using the tech to help manage the tech. It's about being intentional with the time that screens so easily steal away otherwise.
Exactly that. Reclaiming those moments, those minutes scattered throughout your day.
Okay, so wrapping this deep dive up then. It feels like the sources overwhelmingly show us the profound impact of these, simple, consistent daily rituals.
Yeah, from something as basic as washing that one dish after breakfast, to taking a mindful breath when you feel stressed, stepping outside for just a moment, or writing down 3 things you're grateful for. These aren't complicated life overhauls.
No, they're building blocks.
Exactly. Building blocks for strengthening self-discipline, significantly reducing stress, increasing your presence and awareness in your own life, and ultimately building greater overall well-being and resilience.
And they're not inaccessible. They really just start with a conscious choice, don't they? A choice to invest small moments and practices that actually nourish you, instead of letting that precious time just get drained away by demands or distractions.
It makes you pause and think, really. If how you spend your time truly is how you spend your life,
then how would intentionally reclaiming, just say 5 or 10 minutes each morning, or maybe scattered through your day, for just one simple ritual. How could that fundamentally shift the landscape of your daily experience? How could it build a stronger foundation for everything else you do?
That's a powerful thought to sit with.